Recycling at college is easy.
No, in fact, it's appallingly bad here. To be honest, there's no recycling that I know of in this college.
What do you think the college could do to improve recycling?
Recycle bottles, plastic bottles,
Yeah.
and glass bottles.
I think you should try and get some sort of disposable for batteries and things, and also dispose some sort of bins for disposing of other hazardous things, and all forms of recycling really.
Just make the college a bit better, like instead of just putting their letters outside and making a mess, I think they should get it more better in the college.
What do you think about classroom recycling?
Like I say, it's utterly pathetically bad. There's no real recycling at all. Everything's all put in the one bin, and it's just appalling.
Do you do a lot at home, like recycling wise?
Something.
Well, at home I've got a recycling box, and every time me and my mum do recycling, we take bottles and cereal boxes, and we've got a separate box for every, like, bottles and cans.
For recycling at home, it's mostly recycling the paper, but if possible, it's probably wise to possibly try and recycle batteries, if possible, because I heard somewhere that there is a way of doing that.
I do recycle a lot, but sometimes the council forgets to come sometimes to take my rubbish away.
Okay, would you like to tell us about the radiator in your classroom?
It's absolutely appalling. And the reason why it's appalling is because you can't turn it off, and it's always, I repeat, always roasting barbecue hot. And that means we've got to have the air conditioning on all the time, which means it wastes more money for the air conditioning bills, and it also means that it wastes more money on the heating bills as well.
And do you care about the environment?
Yeah.
I do, because I personally think there needs to be a balance between what do you call it, between progress and the environment. There needs to be a decent balance with progress, between progress and keeping the environment intact.
How do you get to college in the mornings?
I get to college through a taxi company that takes me.
Do you think it's good to get the bus to college?
Yeah.
Do you find it easy to get the bus, or do you get stuck in a lot of traffic?
Sometimes.
Do you find it easy, like, is there lots of traffic, or do you have to leave earlier because of all the roadworks and things?
It depends. Sometimes I'm late because of the traffic, but that's very common these days. It's just very. But you know, it's not. It doesn't make me disastrously late. It almost never makes me really late. In fact, there's only once that I've ever been that late, as such. You know,
Yeah.
the rest of the time is pretty decent. Better yet, once the trams are all finished, it'll mean less pollution in the Edinburgh, in the city area.
Yeah.
Much less pollution.
There is a garden in the college in the Bright Centre. Have you ever been in it?
No, I haven't, but I'll probably have a look at it at some point.
Do you ever use the garden that was built in the college?
No, I've never used it, no.
Have you ever been in it?
No?
Do you think it's a really nice thing to have in the college?
Yeah.
Do you think we should maybe have more places like that, more gardens with plants and trees and flowers?
Yeah.
Were you in the group that made the garden?
The sensory garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you enjoy helping make the garden?
That was last year.
A few years ago, the Beech Grove Garden came and worked with some of the students, who I think one of them was you, and they made the garden.
Was it good fun to help or be involved in making the garden?
Yeah.
Why do you think it is or isn't a good idea to have a wormery at college?
Trying to throw away a lot of food.
It's probably a lot of food.
So it would be good to have a place
Yeah.
where we could put it
Yeah.
so it wasn't as wasteful.
Aye.
What do you like to eat at college for your lunch, like from the canteen? What do you choose for your lunch?
There's not much stuff that I really get from the canteen. Most of it's my own packed lunch that I make up from home.
What would you choose to have for your lunch?
I would have burgers and chips.
What about you?
Packed lunch.
Okay. What do you do with all the packaging? Because a lot of the college food is covered in plastic and
Yeah.
polystyrene. Do you think that's good? Should we be changing that?
Well, it is useful to use plastic, but sometimes when I eat my food I cut it and sometimes I make a hole in the plastic. And I think it's quite hard for me to cut it on plastic. Even the plastic knives are hard to cut as well.
Should we use plastic or metal cutlery in college?
Probably plastic, because at least plastic you can. If someone uses metal, you can't. Once you've used it, that's it until you wash it. Whether less, if you get plastic, you can just get another one out, and another one, another one.
So we should use like plates and metal cutlery instead.
Well, they should, but people should be careful what they use. Like, they should get trays and then just use like normal plates, because that way people don't have to use plastic plates.